Welcome back to Tester Scale Workshop. My name is Brett Green, and tonight I'll be giving a final report on our Hasegawa 32nd scale Messerschmitt Bf 109G-6 that we've been building since about October last year. You might remember last time we visited this kit in January, the model was nearly finished. But it's funny how a kit can sometimes resist completion, and that was the case in this instance. The first problem I encountered was when I tried to glue the rear section of the canopy onto the model. I was careful in applying a small amount of glue to the transparent part and also to the plastic on the kit, but I managed to squeeze an amount of glue out behind the canopy which smeared along the completed paintwork, leaving a glossy mark that was really very obvious. That was problem number one. Next, I lost the antenna mast. It went springing off into the carpet, and no amount of crawling around on my hands and knees could actually find it. When I looked again at the exhaust stain pattern that I'd painted onto the model, I wasn't really terribly happy with it compared to the reference photos that were in the Eagle Cal's decal sheet. At this point, I was starting to get a little frustrated, and sometimes the best policy is when you get to that stage, just put the model down and pick it up when you've got a better attitude. That's what I did this time. The delay was really an advantage to the model. I was looking at the kit through fresh eyes after a layoff of a couple of months, and I noticed a couple of things. First of all, I thought that the exhaust stain could be fixed, but I also thought that the wings were not quite as heavily weathered as the rest of the fuselage, so I decided to do a little bit of extra work there. I put a very thin mix of black and red-brown into the air cup of my Aztec A470 airbrush and sprayed very fine streaks along the width of the wing, which provided a subtle weathering effect, not too heavy, that really helped match the fuselage. I also mixed up a thin batch of polyscale RLM 76 light blue and oversprayed some of the very dark exhaust stain in order to bring back up the mottling of the camouflage, reinforce that on the fuselage side. Next, I masked the rear clear canopy section and resprayed the section behind there in camouflage and a quick flat coat to hide the glue stain that I'd accidentally put there a couple of months before. Pretty much the final touch was the aerial wire. You can use stretch sprue or nylon monofilament, effectively invisible mending thread, but the problem with both of those is that there's no real elasticity, so that if you bump the antenna mast or if you bump the wire itself, that you run the risk of actually knocking it off the rear post or the antenna mast. In this case, I used a product called Easy Line. This is a really interesting product, and in this case what I did was just glued it to the antenna mast. I drilled a very small hole through the post on the fin. I threaded the elastic thread through the hole, and what I have now is an extremely resilient antenna wire that is quite taut on the model, but will resist an awful lot of punishment. I can bounce it, I can stretch it, and it basically returns to its original shape without any risk of breaking. I suppose the moral to this story is, if you're feeling frustrated with the model, just put it down for a while. You'll probably benefit from the break. Also, if there's an aspect of the model that you're not happy with, then it's a pretty simple matter to just do it over again until you're satisfied. Next time on Tester Scale Workshop, we'll be starting on a brand new kit. I'll look forward to seeing you then. Bye for now.